Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! October is going to be a huge month on this YouTube channel. We have Halloween and we have the birthdays of Ruby Rose Turner and Freya Sky to celebrate back to back. So if you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, you're probably going to want to do that. I am the biggest Ruby Rose Turner fan and supporter in the world, much like all of you. It is such an honor for me to talk about your favorite Descendants and Zombies stars. I profile them. I profile moments of Descendants history and Zombies history, which is an honor for me to do for you guys. Creating these videos is such an honor. And just to be in your guys' presence to talk about Descendants and Zombies with over 65,000 channel views having happened for this channel is such an honor for me. Thank you guys so much. Ruby Rose Turner will forever and always be my favorite Descendants character. For those of you who are new here, yes, I am the biggest Ruby Rose Turner fan in the world, and it is to be noted that I have the biggest crush in the world on Ruby because of how kind she is. She definitely inspired me to be more kinder to people in my lifetime, and because of Ruby Rose Turner, I want to say thank you so much, Ruby. I want to say thank you so much for all the contributions you have given to the Descendants franchise and its fans, because you will never ever be forgotten. I'm really upset, though, that Ruby's time with the Descendants franchise was very short-lived, because I think that the Bridget character had a whole lot more to offer. That song, Life is Sweeter When You Are, was a beautiful representation of how far kindness can make it in this lifetime and how much of a profound effect it can have on a person's heart. Kindness really has an incredible reach, I think, and it's never given enough credit how much of an incredible reach it actually has, because the smallest amount of kindness that you show to somebody can really have a profound impact on their life and really their day. Help them make sense of what's going on in their life, and probably you have a friend who wants to see a little bit of extra kindness today, so make sure you make that happen for them. I first got to look at Ruby Rose Turner on Coop and Cammy Ask the World many years ago. That wasn't yesterday, but it was a series that lasted only 2 seasons. But for the 2 seasons that it lasted, it introduced us to Cammy rather and what she was all about and how she wanted to have a global reach because of a web show. I really thought at one point or another that Coop and Cammy Ask the World was going to become Disney's answer to counteracting iCarly and its overwhelming popularity. Either that one or Berserk that Kylie Cantrell had a reoccurring role on as Tessa. That was one of Kylie Cantrell's first major breakout roles before Disney decided to give her her own show as Gabby Duran and The Unsittables, because Disney always had this thing where they would sprinkle you on shows just to introduce you to the global audience to see how they were going to respond to you. And Kylie Cantrell and Ruby Rose Turner were two individuals that the Disney fans fell in love with almost instantly, and I can see why, because of how kind they were and how appreciative they were of whatever opportunities they were presented with. You had Kylie Cantrell coming in from out of nowhere. Nobody knew who she really was, only from her web show, Hello Kylie. You had to really go back in time, really do your history lesson on Kylie Cantrell, because she had this show inspired by Hello Kitty. It was called Hello Kylie, a really adorable name, and it was when YouTube first premiered, and it was such a great YouTube show because she used to review all these shows that I was a fan of, like Sam and Cat, iCarly, Victorious. And that wasn't yesterday. That was before many of you were even born. I was the biggest fan of iCarly. I was the biggest fan of Victorious, Victoria Justice, Miranda Cosgrove, and I was so appreciative of what they were offering to Nickelodeon at the time, going up against Disney. So seeing Kylie Cantrell review it with such a beautiful smile on her face and such passion, and this friendship that was being put on display between herself and Ruby was fantastic. And now years later, being a part of a franchise, becoming a part of a franchise that meant so much to their hearts, was a tremendous opportunity for them to really break out and become breakout stars of this new generation. Let me just say this. If there was a new cast to have the torch passed to them unofficially by the original Descendants cast of Cameron, Sophia Carson, it would have to be Kylie Cantrell and Ruby Rose Turner for how they represented so much kindness in this lifetime, how they really made a difference and really inspired people to be kinder to each other, because I really do believe that some of the best friends have been created because and have happened because of Descendants and Zombies. Let me just say that, because Descendants and Zombies both represented acceptance, represented hope and second chances for everybody regardless of what you may have been going through. You saw the good in Descendants and Zombies, and this was the best plot ever brought forth for a Disney Channel franchise, because you think about Hannah Montana and High School Musical, and now Camp Rock that's getting rebooted with Camp Rock 3 at some point for Disney Channel and Disney Plus. They represented kindness and being friends with each other for forever, but not as much as what Descendants and Zombies did. There was a stronger emphasis on friendship and the value of it, and romance, and of course hope and second chances for everybody. It really represented acceptance, especially Zombies. So that's why I give the writers and producers big shout-outs for Descendants and Zombies, because of the emphasis, the strong emphasis put on that. And not only on the set of Descendants, but also off the set of Descendants when the cameras stopped rolling. This beautiful friendship between Kylie and Ruby and Malia is outstanding. I can never seem to get enough of it. I am forever appreciative of what they do for each other. They are incredibly supportive of each other. They're there for each other every step of the way. And I really appreciate that because that creates good chemistry on the set of Descendants. And you know you're going to be seeing something special with them because we didn't see that years ago with Hannah Montana. We didn't see that years ago with High School Musical. Perhaps we saw it because of Vanessa Hudgens and Ashley Tisdale, but I didn't see that same kind of chemistry between Zac Efron and Corbin Bleu exemplified. It was probably just one pairing, one pair off from High School Musical or Hannah Montana from years ago. Because let's be honest, Miley Cyrus and Emily Osment never did see eye to eye. They never liked each other. So I think that because there was a lack of chemistry, that was probably why Hannah Montana didn't last as long as what it probably should have, because Hannah Montana could have easily gotten a reboot ever before now. It could have gotten probably 5, 6 seasons, because I know how it went years ago. Disney could never get past 4 seasons of a TV series or a trilogy, and now Disney is just blowing everything up with Descendants and Zombies because it's credited to its overwhelming popularity. I mean, who out there isn't a fan of Descendants? The only person who's not a fan of Descendants and Zombies are the critics, because they just want to see it go away, fade off into obscurity, and be forgotten about, while people like me and all of you guys are trying to keep it alive for forever. And I give you my word, as long as this YouTube channel exists, I will do my best to keep Descendants and Zombies alive eternally and forever in all of our hearts, because I think forever and always, because of people like Kylie Cantrell, Ruby Rose Turner, this franchise will last for forever. I remember the premiere of the Life is Sweeter When You Are music video ever before Descendants happened in 2024, and everybody was so excited. It was a bubblegum type song that instantly got stuck in my mind, and that's the reason why I'm wearing the diamond pattern sweater this morning, because I guess I'm a Prince Charming and I'm inspired by Life is Sweeter When You Are. But it was the message of how much of an incredible reach that kindness has in this lifetime, and I think because of this song, kindness has a more further reach than ever before. It's really become a global phenomenon. If you see these videos that people are uploading, dance rehearsals and the choreographing behind the Life is Sweeter When You Are dance number, it's really phenomenal how many people it inspires. Now, I know the majority of the people who are inspired by this are girls, but we do see guys getting in on the dance number too. Actually, for a dance rehearsal a while back, we had Kylie Cantrell and Ruby Rose Turner actually attending this dance rehearsal, and nobody knew they were there. And when they stepped out on stage, the emotion, the explosion of emotion, was truly unbelievable, and they were so appreciative to be in the presence of so many fans of Descendants and Zombies. The age demographic kind of varied. We had guys getting into the dance number too, but seeing this dance rehearsal, brought back a lot of fond memories of me being a fan of Descendants many, many moons ago, because we never did see Dove Cameron or Sophia Carson do this kind of thing. And when I saw the PR for Descendants: The Rise of Web, with Ruby being a part of it and Kylie being a part of it and their friendship being put on display, I became so appreciative of the PR and how the franchise was represented because of kindness. Because as I just said, I don't think kindness ever has enough of an incredible reach in this lifetime, and it's really reaching more people and touching more hearts now because of Descendants of Zombies, because you make it a family thing or you make it a thing between your friends, which I'm very appreciative of, because I think some of the best friendships, I will forever and always believe that some of the best friendships of all time have happened because of Descendants and Zombies. And I can't forget to mention how beautiful Ruby is. Her personality lights up every room that she's a part of, every performance she's a part of. She really brings the best out of everybody, not only herself, but everybody she works with. She's really somebody I think Cameron Boyce would be very proud of, because the thing about Cameron Boyce was, in light of all the criticism that he received prior to his passing, Cameron Boyce was so loyal to whatever he was a part of. Jesse bunked Descendants, and he loved the franchise so much. And I think that while the Descendants cast, the original Descendants cast, made the decision to have told the story and completed it, I think that Cameron Boyce would have wanted the Descendants franchise to have lived on eternally, and his memory would have been kept alive through people like Kylie Cantrell and Ruby Rose Turner. I think Cameron Boyce would have been very proud of Ruby Rose Turner's contributions to this franchise, and this is the point I think that he would have wanted the Descendants to get to. So I think that his legacy will forever and always live on through people like Kylie Cantrell, Ruby Rose Turner, and their friendship. And this friendship between Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker, it is really adorable. I have to be honest. I know there's a lot of criticism and a lot of different reviews and opinions when it comes to Kylie and Malia's friendship because of everything going on and off the camera. But I really appreciated this close bond that they have, and how they tell each other everything, how they help each other out of situations in their relationships. I know just last year they went through 2 really brutal breakups, and they couldn't really make sense of it if not for each other. But the thing is, it's just life, and I think at some point or another in all of our lives we come across this one person that we want to keep in our lives for forever. And if for Kylie it's Malia and for Malia it's Kylie, then I think we should be more appreciative of that instead of just posting stuff for our blogs to get ourselves over on YouTube to get a rise, because I think they're trying to get a rise out of fans, because they know how much fans love the Descendants franchise, and whatever rumors they can create off of something like the friendship between Kylie Contrail, Malia Baker, and now Ruby Rose Turner thrown into the mix, they're going to, because critics can never seem to get enough of this kind of thing, and this is where I really wish they would stop. Because I remember last summer, they were posting a lot of negative reviews of the Place to Be music video, and they didn't know the first thing about daywalkers and nightwalkers. That was the only thing they could come up with to criticize. You know, what is a daywalker, what is a nightwalker, and people were posting videos, reaction videos on YouTube, on their YouTube channels, where they were actually Googling what was a daywalker, what was a nightwalker. It's so obvious. It's a vampire that can exist in the daytime and vampires that can exist in the nighttime, separating the two groups to create confliction and to create a new storyline. The introduction of these new characters create new storylines. It's pretty obvious. And I think that people have always just tried to put a damper on the success of Dawn of the Vampires. They've always tried to put a damper on the success of stars like Kylie Contrail and Ruby Rose Turner, whose hearts are really into performances. That's why I was really heartbroken over how Ruby had parted ways with the Descendants franchise, because the essence of time travel had been taken out of Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland, because it's going to be focusing on the events of present-day Wonderland. I know we have the Kingdom Cup games approaching Oregon next summer, and it's going to be a fun time for every fan of Descendants. We're seeing the introduction of Red Sister Pink, who I'm looking forward to meet. I'm excited to meet her. But I think you could have found something for Ruby to do in present-day Wonderland. She should have came with Red and Chloe back to the present-day Wonderland at the end of the movie and, you know, resided in Oregon in the present day, because I think you could have easily found something for her to do, even if you would have went back in time in the first 5 minutes of the movie to get Ruby to come celebrate the Kingdom Cup games. Okay, here we have the Kingdom Cup games happening in Oregon, so let's invite Bridget back from time to be a part of it. And I think that would have been a whole lot of fun for everybody to see her be a part of it along with Liamani Segura, because you would have seen an expansion off the cast, more storylines created. There's always forever going to be an opportunity to create something special for Descendants fans. And I say this really early this morning because I really do believe that Ruby's story is far from over with Descendants, and we haven't seen the last of her. So I don't think we should close the book ever on Bridget just yet. I think what we need to do is kind of keep reaching out for hope for these stars to see a reemergence in the Descendants franchise, because when you take a character like Bridget, who was so bubbly and became everybody's favorite character almost instantly, I'm not the only guy who loves Bridget, because there are so many fans of Bridget out there who are going to be missing her and holding on to that hope that we're going to be seeing her by Descendants 6, hopefully, because this is bound to become a trilogy. Don't ever think that we're going to be stopping at Descendants 5, because we're going to be seeing Descendants 6, Descendants 7, regardless of what the titles are. I love the title, by the way, Wicked Wonderland, because this presents a chance for a lot of confliction. This presents a chance for a lot of unpredictable storylines, new characters, new color schemes, new music, and by the time the new music drops for Leg 2 of the Worlds Collide Tour internationally, this is going to look really good for the international market. We're going to see an expansion off the tour dates, more tour dates than ever before. I predict about 50 tour dates for Leg 2 in Germany, Australia, and the UK, with the all-time high energy from the crowds in the UK and Australia and Germany. This is going to be so much fun. I'm looking forward to this. I can't wait to post reviews of this on my YouTube channel, and I look forward to being a part of it with each and every one of you, because you guys made the first half of the Worlds Collide Tour so spectacular, and I noticed the trends on YouTube, the ongoing trends. People are already searching up the Worlds Collide Tour rumors for the UK, which is cool. It's one of the top trends right now, and I look forward to reviewing it, because I think there are a lot of great things to be said about this, with the all-time high energy from the crowds, which is very different from Canadian and American crowds, and you will see this on the videos, because I know a thing or two about the international market. This is exactly what these stars need. This is what they've wanted for forever, and the exposure will come at the expense of these crowds that will sell at every venue across the overseas. This is going to be amazing, and I just can't wait to be a part of it. I just wish Ruby was a part of it, because I remember when Ruby first broke the news of her not being a part of the Descendants franchise, dropping out of the Worlds Collide Tour. Oh, my heart was broken, because I had seen some on-stage performances of Ruby for Descendants before, and I remember her energy being at an all-time high and her being so emotional and so connected with the fans. That was what was so cool about Ruby. She was forever and always appreciative of her fans, and she never ever forgot about her fans. Let me just say this. If Ruby wants to be a part of the live-action Tangled, take Sabrina Carpenter out of it. I know it's just a rumor right now, and everybody wants to see Sabrina Carpenter don the role of Rapunzel because she's the most lifelike Rapunzel of all time. But Ruby is too. And I will forever present the argument that if Ruby wants to be the Rapunzel for the live-action Tangled, let her be it. Let her go. because I think the potential with Ruby exists not only, physically, but it also exists in her heart. Remember Rapunzel for being so fun and so curious? That was the one thing about Rapunzel that always jumped out at me. Now, this was inspired by a story about a man that used to keep a girl locked up in a tower many moons ago because he didn't want his daughter to have a relationship and he had a fear of men. And that's where the inspiration between Rapunzel was drawn from Disney many, many moons ago. But I think that because of Rapunzel's curiosity, and it really fits Ruby's personality perfectly, more so than Sabrina Carpenter. And I can't forget to mention how I really do feel as if Sabrina Carpenter is really overrated, and I'll have more to say on this later on today on my show, because I really do believe that the conversation is always revolving a bit too much around Sabrina Carpenter and Ariana Grande, and it's really taking away from people like Ruby Rose Turner, because Ruby Rose Turner is such a huge inspiration to so many wonderful people. And I think I'm not the only guy who misses Ruby. I think there are a lot of Descendants fans who really have forever and always been crushing on Ruby because of her kindness, because of her inspirations, and feeling inspired to be a part of the live-action Tangled. Now, reportedly, the live-action Tangled production has ceased because of Snow White's recent flop in the box office, and you all remember me for being the only guy on YouTube to say anything nice about Snow White. I think that, we can say more nice things about Disney. I know they just recently greenlit Camp Rock, but, the way I think about this is you can reboot as many franchises and TV series as you want. Hannah Montana, Camp Rock 3, now in the works from Disney for Disney Plus and Disney Channel. But nothing is ever going to be as revered as Descendants of Zombies. This has really become a global phenomenon. You guys took something that started as a whisper, and it exploded because of each and every one of you overnight. It literally exploded overnight, because I remember the first reviews of Descendants over 10 years ago, it's been a decade, on Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb.com. And I remember how fond everybody was of the original Descendants, and there were thousands of reviews posted within the first hour of the movie's premiere, and everybody couldn't say enough good things about it. And that's exactly what I wanted, precisely what I wanted Descendants to get to. For Kenny Ortega, who had history, of course, with High School Musical and Hocus Pocus all the way back to '93, with Bette Midler, I'll never forget that. And, it's really funny how everybody's favorite Halloween movie is still Hocus Pocus, and I'm talking about the original Hocus Pocus, not Hocus Pocus 2. You kind of watch Hocus Pocus now and Hocus Pocus 2 back to back. You can't go your Halloween without watching the original Hocus Pocus. It's really cool how people still are fans of original Disney content like The Nightmare Before Christmas, who never seems to get enough appreciation. And I've often suggested, too, for Distant Lands, for Descendants, I think that we could see a trip by Red and Chloe to Halloween Town. I think we could see a trip by Red and Chloe to Olympus. So there is still so much of an opportunity to expand for the Descendants franchise, which I think is going to be amazing for a lot of people. I really do. And I'm just so excited to be a part of it, because, you talk about, Peter Pan and Captain Hook and the daughter of Captain Hook coming into this franchise. Now, it opens up the door for a trip to Neverland. It's forever opened up the door for a trip to Olympus. And I'm really excited about it, because I think people are just, choosing to criticize Descendants and Zombies because they feel as if, okay, 5 movies is enough for both Descendants and Zombies. But I think there's such a history and such a lore when it comes to supernatural and fairy tale characters that oftentimes go underappreciated or unnoticed. And I think that if, you want to see Descendants of Zombies get to a point where a legacy is achieved for these stars, where they're on the D23 Stage Expo, being inducted into the Disney Hall of Fame for some of the youngest Disney legends in history, because I've forever presented the argument of how if Miley Cyrus can go down in history for being the youngest Disney legend of all time for her contributions to the company as Hannah Montana, which was really overwhelming years ago, because I was the biggest Hannah Montana supporter in the world, I think that same argument can be presented for stars of Descendants, either the past or the current cast, because the current cast is really bringing this to life, because we never did see a Worlds Collide tour for Descendants many years ago. We never did see Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson sharing the stage, only when Disney perhaps had something to promote. So I give this cast a really profound amount of credit that they deserve, because many years ago you would have never thought that Descendants would have got to this point. Watching the first musical, which was a very deep story, and then the story got deeper by Descendants 2, I will admit to each and every one of you, I found that the music by Descendants 2 ultimately got better. Chillin' Like a Villain, Rotten to the Core, beautiful songs. And I think that in their own right, from the first movie, the songs were good, but the music just got better. It had a lot to do with Kenny Ortega. Of course, he drew inspiration from, of course, High School Musical many years ago. We all know that that's how he achieved worldwide popularity, becoming a legendary director, was because of High School Musical. But I think that now his legacy will become even more revered now because of Descendants of Zombies and the contributions of Dove Cameron. I remember how dedicated he was to producing Descendants many years ago. He took Dove Cameron out into the woods. Nobody knew where they were too, and they took literally 500 takes of this one scene, and they cut so much out of the If Only music video in that scene because they just wanted to get it perfect. And Dove Cameron, of course, with her chemistry and her character traits, was able to bring that character Mel to life in such an authentic way that I don't think anybody who's ever portrayed a character for Descendants has ever been able to do it. I give Dove Cameron a profound amount of respect and love showing her that respect, because I think without her contributions, Descendants probably would have never gotten to the point that it has to take over. Now, Clarke is just doing a fabulous job, bringing this franchise to life in so many unbelievable ways that people are never ever going to forget. I mean, if you told me you weren't a fan of Clarke and Shrell, you never were a fan of Ruby Rose Turner and her character Bridget for the exemplification of kindness, I don't know if I'd ever believe you, because I've forever and always been supportive of Ruby. I will forever and always be supportive of Ruby, because I think never enough kind things can be said about these stars, and I will have more to say on this on the final show that I will upload just before sunset tonight. This is my third video I've uploaded today, ever since midnight last night. And by the way, guys, thank you so much for joining me last night for my midnight premiere. I do that occasionally on this YouTube channel. You'll see a video premiering at midnight, and I was talking a lot about Freya Sky yesterday, because I really do believe that Freya Sky is going to be the future of the Disney company, with or without Descendants backing her. I think she's going to be something phenomenal, and I'm really excited to be a part of the future for Freya, because Freya is just beautiful, and Freya is just so full of life. That's the thing about Freya Sky. Freya is just so full of life, and she's just so appreciative of being in the moment with each and every single person who's ever been a fan of her. You guys came out at a support for Freya Sky and Kylie Control at the Worlds Collide Tour, and it showed. And I give you a profound amount of thanks, because without you guys, the Worlds Collide Tour would have never been as successful as what it was. Going into it, I think everybody had high hopes for this tour, and they got what they wanted. And I think because of you guys and your contributions to the Worlds Collide Tour, how you showed up with your glitter signs and your outfits and you bought your merch, I think Descendants and Zombies will see a leg 2 of this tour, even if it doesn't happen until late 2026. Obviously, what they're waiting is the soundtrack for Descendants 5 to drop. Once that drops and people become familiarized with the songs, they're going to be really intrigued for Leg 2 of the Worlds Collide Tour, and I will be here covering it for you guys, because I am really intrigued by Leg 2 of the Worlds Collide Tour and what it could be offering to fans. Because I think never enough conversation can happen about the Worlds Collide Tour, never enough legs can happen for the Worlds Collide Tour, because I think there's an undeniable love and a passion that goes with talking about Descendants and Zombies, and that's why I've been able to create so many wonderful videos on this channel about Descendants and Zombies, because that's how I draw inspiration from your passions, and because we share the same passion, that's why we're all together. That's why we're here. We're talking about Descendants and Zombies because we like to honor the franchises. And I think there is a certain way to talk about the franchises with passion and dedication. I think that everybody who criticizes Descendants and Zombies really haven't given it much of a chance. But when you compare this cast to the cast of the past, this cast comes out with so much dedication and comes off with so much appreciation for the value that exists for talking about Descendants and Zombies. And that's what's so cool about Descendants and Zombies, is that so many people love this franchise, so many people are backing it with support, and it really makes it the greatest honor of my life, being able to sit here and talk about Descendants and Zombies on really my third show since midnight last night. Again, guys, thank you so much for all the love and support you've shown my YouTube channel and being here for my midnight premiere last night. You will see that occasionally on this YouTube channel, and for those of you who have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, October is going to be a big month. Not only do we have the countdown to Halloween happening on this YouTube channel, but we have the birthdays of Freya Sky and Ruby Rose Turner happening back to back. Ruby's is on October 16th, Freya's is on October 17th. So within 24 hours there will be a lot of videos about Ruby and Kylie Contrell and of course Freya Sky happening all throughout the month of October, and all the key moments of course for Descendants history. So if you have not subscribed, you're probably going to want to do that, because I have a lot to say where this goes, and forever and always will have a lot to say about Descendants and Zombies, because I feel as if you guys have been wanting a Descendants and Zombies podcast for forever, and I just feel so honored to be that guy to give it to you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to upload this video to my YouTube channel, and hopefully everybody is going to subscribe, because it's really a hit or miss for me. It always has been a hit or miss for me with this YouTube channel, and I think that with the love and support that this YouTube channel has received from its fans, I can never say thank you enough. Because without you guys, this YouTube channel would not be able to exist. I wouldn't be able to create as many beautiful videos, because I feel as if the reaction videos that are being uploaded about Descendants and Zombies are just filled with criticism, and you guys have deserved far better than that. I think that you need to see a guy who's just as passionate talking about Descendants of Zombies as each and every one of you are, because there's this undeniable passion coming from the fans that has forever and always existed and been there for Descendants of Zombies, and I've never felt so honored to become your voice of Descendants of Zombies and to have been here with you guys for every single moment. I just wish I could have been here from the very beginning. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to upload this video to my YouTube channel. Hopefully everybody is going to subscribe. If you have not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and of course ring my bell to stay up to date with every notification that you will get in your drop-down menu notifications from YouTube, because there's so much happening throughout the month of October on this YouTube channel going to be happening as we honor your favorite stars like Kylie and Freya last night, and now today Ruby Rose Turner. Guys, thank you so much. I will be back just before sunset with a final video, the 4th video to be dropped. Make sure you join me for that. It's such an honor to be in your guys' presence talking everything Descendants of Zombies. Stay calm and zombie on, guys, for the foreseeable future, because that's the only way to be in this life.